Privatize America. Guys, welcome to the channel, and we've had private schools, private security, private healthcare, private firefighters. Well, this goes on and on. Folks, if you want to learn more about survival and preparedness, you definitely want to get my books, 3 Survival Skills and Surviving the Economic Collapse. You have them in the links there below, and this is wild. Let's check this out.
An intense firefight on the front lines of the Pacific Palisades fire. But these aren't city or state firefighters battling raging flames and hurricane-force winds. Instead, they are private firefighters who we caught up with still at work in the Pacific Palisades.
What we're trying to avoid is to have the fire actually spread over to, like, the structures here that have not burned.
The company is called Red Zone, and it's working to fortify its clients' homes before the next fire threat moves in.
If we need to spray a fire retardant around native vegetation, if we need to gel a structure, if we need to mitigate by moving combustibles away from structures.
But these kinds of companies are wedged into a controversy over the fairness of allowing private fire crews to protect specific homes. It started with a post on X, since deleted, from a real estate executive in the Pacific Palisades. Does anyone have access to private firefighters to protect our home? Need to act fast here. All neighbors' houses burning. Will pay any amount. That sparked a strong reaction on social media.
You know how much it is? $2,000 an hour. Yeah. So you hire them like for a week or so. It's $2,000 an hour, and you pay that, and your house arrives. It's not a bad deal.
One TikTok user commenting, "Whose home gets saved shouldn't depend on their bank account."
Oh, yes, it does.
And despite the controversy, the private firefighters we met don't work for wealthy homeowners. They work for insurance companies who dispatch them out to try to prevent catastrophic loss. So what are your thoughts on this notion that private firefighters are only here helping the rich?
Well, that's a misconception. And I'm going to speak for my company. The insurance companies don't charge for this service. It's part of their policy. We've got some folks that are well off. We've got some folks that are in the medium range. We got some folks all along the spectrum there.
I understand the criticism, but those people are not people in a fire, and they don't understand the lack of resource.
Ross Gerber.
They don't understand. You know what I do understand, Ross? That this is one of the richest parts of the country, and that money was already there. You shouldn't need to hire private firefighters, because with the money that these losers are stealing from you, it should already be provided. It's not. This is so typical. So typical. Your public school should be good enough as it is. Your public school should be of excellent quality. It is being budgeted as such. It is super expensive. Why would you need private schools when you're already paying for the public one? I mean, you don't have a choice. You have to pay for it nonetheless. That goes out of your pocket every month. That's something you're going to be paying. Why is it that the public provided service is so shitty that I need to go with a private one? That is the trademark of a banana republic. I know, because I am from one. I am from the third world. And let me tell you, when you see a shitty country, that country relies on private everything. It is private schools, private universities, private security, private healthcare, everything private, because everything else is crap, because the government is crap, because the government is terrible. If you have governments that, whatever they may be, from whatever country, but in any country that you care looking at, if the government provides, and often independently of the current administration, which is just, the administration is just renting for 4 months, then it's gone. Administrations are just their butts in the seat for a little while. But if the country and the government does things the way it's supposed to do, you would have quality public education, quality safety on the streets, quality medical care. You would have quality everything. It is only on shit third world countries that this is common.
Is not a Red Zone client, but he has no problem defending his neighborhood's decision to hire private crews, which he claims saved their block.
And so now, because we're spending our personal money to protect our neighborhood, it gives resources to the public that can be used right now, that is being used right now.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
This viral confrontation with California Governor Gavin Newsom made water resources a key argument in this debate. But the private crews we caught up with, like Capstone Fire and Safety Management, insist they carry their own water, and their use of municipal water is minimal.
We carry 400 gallons of water on each of the trucks.
So you're not tapping into hydrants?
We're not tapping into hydrants. We'll find other sources. If houses have swimming pools, we have a pump and we'll pump right from the swimming pool.
In recent years, the state passed regulations aimed at controlling the actions of private fire crews, the fire marshal says.
To ensure that these private crews do not get in the way of the actual emergency response.
Chief Daniel Berlant says it can be a safety issue, and now private crews must be in communication with official response teams.
We've had incidents where we've had to go in and rescue these private entities because they accessed evacuated areas, but they were not necessarily trained or have the same support.
The private crews we met say they're mostly experienced former public firefighters, and that they serve as force multipliers for crews on the front lines.
We're all here for the same mission, and most firefighters.
So why would you bother with having quality public services when you're expected to pay for it, right? Have shitty services. And look, guys, this is very simple. You know what the solution is? As everything in life, the solution is have both. But have both of quality. If you have both of quality, not only will the private one be cheaper, but if you cannot afford it, you will have quality public firefighting and education and everything else. The idea of, our government is shit. We're like an impoverished African nation, so the government is incapable of doing anything, so go and pay yourself. That is the wrong way to go about it. Trust me, I've been in this all my life. I mean, this is what I knew most of my life. It is, everything is shit, you have to pay everything private. And you know what? The private thing that you get is usually not even as good. Ideally, the best situation would be, where the hell do you ever see private firefighters? This is a new one for me. Like, really, this is what it comes down to. In one of the richest parts of the country, you're not paying enough. Really, with the amount of money they have from you already, you need to go and buy your own. Why? Because the DI shit you voted into office is completely useless. This is embarrassing, honestly. Good for the guy that has his company, his own business, and that's fantastic. You want to have private healthcare, private security, private education. Go nuts with that. But I'm telling you that in places where shit works where it's supposed to, that's not a thing. In countries where they have some of the best education in this planet, in planet Earth, some of the best education there is, it's going to be in countries that it's going to be 99% public education. Because it's good, because it's done right, because it's done with the resources of the state, which has a lot more power than any given company, and they use it in the right way, right? And it becomes somewhat effective. It has its things, its criticisms, things to improve and all, but it works. The same goes for healthcare. When healthcare is good, when the public healthcare provider is good, you know what happens with the private one? It gets a lot cheaper. Because people don't feel the need to pay for it. Why? Why would I pay for it? If the public one is good enough as it is. The public one is great. I know a lot of people that have quite a bit of money, and no, why would I pay for healthcare? I just go to a hospital. What? Yeah, public one, right? Yeah, the public one over there. That's where I go when I need anything. All right. They don't feel the need, but it's nice. It is so nice to, when you want to pay out of your own pocket, pay for something private, but it's affordable because the public one is already good enough. The same should be for everything else. For education, for firefighting, for fuck's sake, for security, for everything else. You know in which countries you need private security? In shitty, dangerous countries. Because the public security, the police, the government already failed. See you next time, guys. Take care.